So, Dalit, what'd you play this week?
My guy, I don't think I've played anything that wasn't called Monster Hunter in 2 weeks now.
But 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 there are other games. You're supposed to be working on Trails Cold Steel 4,
I
my
am
good
supposed to
sir.
be doing that, and I am not. Not with Sunbreak coming out, not with me helping people through Monster Hunter, not with my Monster Hunter passion renewed. I'm gonna burn out real hard on this game, I can tell.
Yeah, you're gonna get like 2 weeks into fucking Sunbreak, and you're like, I've
I don't
hunted
ever
every
want to
monster.
touch this game ever again.
Ooh, I've hunted every monster. I have I have all the gear that I want. All right, time to not play. Not time to not play anything.
I mean, that's probably more or less true. What's going to happen is I'm going to go through as much of the content as I can, if not everything. I'm going to have everything that I want because I don't feel the need to have everything in the game, and then I'm going to just not touch it for like 2 months. So, very realistic observation of my gaming habits. Thank you for the call out.
Yeah. um,
What have you been up to?
I have also been playing the Monster Hunters.
Hypocrite.
Hypocrite. But I'm not a hypocrite. I've played other games other than the Monster Hunters.
All
All
right,
right.
well then you know what? Then you have me beat. Fair enough.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So get bent. Um. No, but no. I mean, I'm probably done with playing Monster Hunter until Sunbreak comes out. Because I don't want to burn myself out on it within like the first couple of days. I'm also not taking time off for it, so I
I mean,
shouldn't
that's
have
pretty
to.
reasonable. This isn't the type of game that you absolutely need to have their moment one and
Yeah.
be there for. So that's respectable. Save that for the Xeno Blade Chronicles,
Xenoblade.
and
Yeah. Um. So yeah, I've pretty much. I wouldn't say my like elemental builds are like 100%, but I'm pretty sure they're good enough right now.
you go way harder into Element than I do. Even I only make like one or two weapons apiece.
It's just because Bo spreads it very well. Like
Yeah, bow, dual
Bo does the
blades,
most
and
damage when it comes to elemental stuff. So
fair enough. Fair enough.
and I can just swap the weapon, like swap my build like really quickly depending on what monster we're fighting. And it's only like most of my gear itself doesn't change. It's just what's slotted into my gear, which is
Sure.
it just swaps from having 5 frost gems to having 5 blaze gems to having 5 dragon gems. I mean, it just changes what element gems I have in my thing.
I mean, that makes sense. I play a lot of non-elemental weapons anyway, so
Hmm.
though I mean, I did play bow in World, and it's the only time I've played bow and been like, yeah, no, I'm taking this through to end game. I think the only element bow that I cared about was the not the Legiacris, the Legiana bow, and because I used it to bully, I want to say it was just Diablos for like dash extract and such.
Oh yeah, no, the Legiana bow was ridiculously good for Diablos.
I think other than
Was
that, I don't remember if I used the Noki Gante, but I used a different bow for
I
like
use the
my general
Diablos
purpose.
bow. I use the
Was it the
Diablos.
Diablos bow? It might have
Yeah,
been, yeah.
that's the bow that doesn't have any elemental.
Yep, there you go. That's the one.
I had nothing but raw power, and you can throw in the elementalist jewel into it, which just
Yes,
increased the raw power of it.
pretty much. That was my game plan.
Hmm. Yeah, and it was really good. So, uh, other than that, I was playing a little bit of modded No Man's Sky.
I did see you installing them. How's that going?
Just just off and on, like turning on this mod, game doesn't get past the fucking start screen. Okay. Then turning off that mod. Then looking at another mod. I don't have too many mods put into it. I have better generation of planets on there. So the planet, like when it goes through the procedurally generated stage. Like if I go from one system to another that I haven't been to, and it procedurally generates planets or whatever, the planets will be changed to, I guess, like a planet that's, I wouldn't say like better, but like at least a little cooler. Cause like the planet that I currently have my base on, it didn't have like these gigantic rock like pillars or like rock formations that were like sticking out of the planet. Um
Sure.
uh Before I did that, but when I went into there, it now has that. It looks well, I'm not on this planet anymore. I moved to another planet because the other planet, the planet that I did move to, doesn't have any like bad weather effects. It's just either raining or sunny. Um and like I'm not worried about like my shield going down or whatever. It's just my life support at any point. But the planet that I was on, it didn't have any of that. Um So it looked like it kind of looked like a, I wouldn't say like a barren wasteland, but like it just looked like like a really earthy planet. After I did the better generation of of a planet.
Hmm.
So it looked cooler. So it worked. Um, I have it to where all my items can be stacked to 999,999 because fuck inventory management in this game. Um, I don't care who you are or whatever. Fuck inventory management in this game. As I still have a maximum amount of I still have like a maximum amount of slots that I have or whatever. Or I don't even have a maximum amount. I have the amount of slots that I have at the moment without having like upgrading my exosuit or anything like that. But anything that I pick up can go up to like a ridiculous amount. Um, so I don't have to worry about like uh picking up like 500 condensed carbon or whatever, and then it making another slot uh of more condensed carbon. Um, so everything can just be stacked into one thing. Because inventory management in No Man's Sky is annoying. Um, what other type of things did I have? They have better rewards when it comes to quests or whatever. Because some of the rewards in No Man's Sky don't really give you that much. So better rewards
Sure.
like it just increases it a little bit. Um, but I haven't really done a quest yet. Like my current goal at the moment on this planet that I'm on, since I don't have to deal with any like weather, like bad weather, other than it rains and then there's sun. I'm gonna terraform this planet. I'm gonna strip it of all of its resources that I can. And by I'm
Wow.
gonna strip
All
it
right, imperialist.
by I'm gonna strip it of all of its resources that I can. Um, this planet's huge, so I will not be able to strip it of all of its resources because that would take years. All right. Because in No Man's Sky, planets are indeed planets, and it does take you a considerable amount of time to get from one side of the planet to the other if you're just one
Buffing
walking
it.
or
Yeah.
two, yeah, or two going at just a normal pace in a ship or whatever.
It's fine. We'll
Even
take the Mako. Wait, no.
I mean, you do get a Mako. You can make
Oh,
you
you do?
yeah. No Man's Sky has vehicles, has everything. That this game actually has pretty much everything in it now.
All right,
Um,
fair enough. Fair enough.
you can there's a place it's called an anomaly or whatever, but it's a place where pretty much everybody goes to buy like blueprints and shit or whatever, and you can get blueprints to make vehicles, different blueprints to make like different looking bases and all that stuff. It's and you trade in like your I forget what type of, I don't know what credit system is. It's not your basic credits. I think it's nanites or something like that to get these. And to get nanites, you have to find like find and salvage technology and all that shit. So yeah, that's what I've been doing in No Man's Sky. I'm probably gonna do that off and on between now and Xenoblade. Um, just to have something to do.
How long till Xenoblade? The end of next month? Question
Yeah,
mark.
it's July 29th. So it's
That's
literally a
my
month
birthday.
after. Literally a month after. You said what? You said it's your birthday?
No. Birthday month.
It is your birthday month. You know, you got to get it, man.
Look, if we are correct, and I just burn myself, I mean, it's going to be a month. I'm probably not even going to need to
You're
burn
gonna
half
burn
of.
yourself out of Sunbreak.
So yeah, it's entirely possible. I mean, I like has been said, I actually genuinely really enjoyed playing
Too.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Torna. To be honest, I really liked Torna's mechanics, and I don't know if I prefer the story of Torna more. I definitely
What?
preferred
No, the story of Torna
Nora
is
to.
definitely better. The story of Torna is definitely better, but
I tell
it's
you what,
also
the
concise.
leads are also way better in
Yeah,
Torna.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, like both of those, I get no, it's the same game. It's just DLC. That that unit, the full package of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was very enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no reason to think 3 won't be. I've seen plenty of people play through 1, and I have no experience with X whatsoever. I've seen pictures, but that's it.
X is not important.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, it has no bearing on what we'll be
Yeah.
doing. So I was considering trying to play through 1 before
No,
3
just
came out,
watch it.
but
Just watch it.
yeah, that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna
You'll
refresh myself that way.
like you might end up like enjoying or you might end up like realizing that what you played in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and what you will possibly play in Xenoblade Chronicles 3 it might make you enjoy it more if you play Xenoblade Chronicles 1 just because the gameplay itself in Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is very archaic.
Yes, people have always said that as much as I enjoy the characters, as much as I enjoy the story that was told, the gameplay always wasn't the best.
Yeah.
Or wasn't always the best rather.
Yeah.
Also, it's long. Lots of side quests.
What you yeah, don't ever do the side quests. Like unless you were wanting to like get like super powerful or like get a bunch of shit in that game or whatever. You don't even look at the side quests. Side quests are they're as MMO of side quests as you can get.
I wasn't in love with the 2 side quests, but they were more often than not fine. I imagine they
Some of them
were.
have better bearings on the story or better bearings on like
Yes,
your um on the driver or the blades that you had because some of them were like very blade dependent.
it's true. So some of them, that was what you get for doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You get the cores. For some reason the side quests in at least 2 just didn't feel as impactful to the story. So I can absolutely see not needing to do it to feel like you got the full experience
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
narrative, not the world building. But
yeah.
fair enough. That's often not what people are there for.
Three seems like it'll be different, but that'll be later because 3 did have a direct this week, so we can talk about that later.
Yes.
Um, other than that, um, I have caught up on The Boys, which is this most
Yeah.
recent
How'd
episode.
you
This most
how'd you
recent
enjoy
episode.
that?
I mean, I showed you a scene from
Yeah, you
that
sure
episode.
did. I was a better human
That's
being before you did that.
that's not even the worst scene. That's not even the
Um,
worst scene.
that's genuinely saying a lot, given what that scene was. That is genuinely saying so much.
I will because I won't show you the scene. I will explain the scene very quickly. One of the characters opens up a door, and you remember watching
I know the
Nickelodeon?
scene. I know the scene. Yeah,
Okay.
I saw people hinting at this, and it was less subtle than what you just said.
Yeah, you know Nickelodeon.
I believe they use Scary Movie as their frame of reference, actually.
Oh, I was just gonna talk about the goo.
Yeah, so were
Drop it
they.
the goo. That I've caught up on. I have surprisingly have caught up on Critical Role. I am to the most recent episode, and I've actually almost completed. I'm on the last episode of Exandria Unlimited Calamity. Holy shit. Uh, Brennan's a psychopath.
Brennan Lee Mulligan is so fun to watch. I've enjoyed it watching him as the DM of several tabletop games. He is always a joy. Him and Matthew Mercer being a part of the same organization, even if only briefly, is terrifying.
Yeah, he I I I love what he does with like cuz like he's like the true D&D DM, all right? He's like if you can think of a good way that this is that your character can probably do this with any type of role or whatever, I will allow you to do it.
He says
'Cause
he's even said he's been doing this since he was like 9 or 10 or something. Like you can tell.
yeah.
He's incredibly flexible. His improv skills are astounding. It's a joy every single time to watch it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Oh no. No, not that scene. Not that scene.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
god. Yeah, no, I love it. But the campaign 3 starts up this starts back up this Thursday, so I might be able well, I won't because I'll be at work, so I won't be able to watch it live. But who cares? I will watch it on Tuesday or listen to it on Tuesday or Monday, whatever that is. And then last night I caught you up on a lot of anime.
Jesus. Yeah, you did.
I caught you up.
But I'm now like almost entirely caught up with what we're watching this season. So
I mean, you are caught up with entirely what we're watching this season
I am caught
because
up. There we go.
yeah,
There we go.
there's only one more episode of Birdie Wing, and that comes out this week. So I think that comes out on like Wednesday or Thursday. Now the only thing I need to catch you up on is Volume 8 of Ruby.
Yeah, I guess so. Might as well. You managed to get me. Look, I still feel grateful for Spy Family. I'm happy you talked me into that. So Birdie
Yeah,
Wing, yeah, I could take it or leave it. But
yeah. I
Spy
mean,
Family, that's the good
Birdie
stuff.
Birdie Wing is like one of those things where you're like, I can watch this or whatever, and I can enjoy a lot of aspects of this, but this isn't very good. It's one of those things where you're like, I I I enjoy this, but this is not a very good show. But I love it. It's so good. Um, it's so good in a what's the word? In a guilty pleasure type of way.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, maybe I'll catch up on on Ruby Volume 8 soon. Soon. Um yeah, but that's all I did this week. I mean, I had actually had a shitty week this week. Uh,
Do tell.
pun intended. All right. I will not talk about what happened at work, but Saturday I woke up, all right, and I I woke up, went upstairs, took my shower, got dressed, got ready for work and everything. And then I walked upstairs. I was talking to my parents, and there's a smudge on my glasses, and I was like, oh, let me get the smudge right. Take my glasses off, and I do the whole thing of like wiping my glasses in my shirt and everything. All right, I'm not very rough with my glasses. I'm pretty delicate or whatever. But like after like two or three like little just like wipes of the lens or whatever, my fucking my frames split at the bridge. And I'm like,
Yeah, hate to hear it.
motherfucker. All right. So I went that entire workday without glasses. Which was, I mean, I can see without my glasses. Um,
My glasses, my glasses. I can't see without my glasses.
I'm not Velma. All right.
Sorry, my
Uh,
glasses, my glasses. I can't be seen without my glasses.
No, I mean, the only thing I can't do is like stuff that's like very detailed or whatever.
Read
If it's
fine
like
print and all that.
I can't read fine
Yeah.
print. I would have to put I would have to put whatever I'm trying to read like 3 inches away from my face. But you know everything else I can see. I can see giant shapes. You know, I can see like if I took my glasses off, I can see my PS3 in like almost all full detail. Or PS4 or 5 actually. Fuck, I have too many PlayStations. Um I can see everything. It's just, you know, I just nothing in fine detail. Anyway, that happened. So I've got a fucking doctor's appointment on Wednesday to get a new prescription and some new frames.
Yeah,
And
happy you
then
were able to get that so easily on their first try.
yeah, not my first try. I don't know what system receptionists at any type of fucking doctor's place look at, all right? But they don't look at the same system because I called, they said there wasn't going to be an opening until sometime like the first week of July, and I'm like I need like replacement frames now, all right, pretty much or like pretty close. Um and she like transferred me over to a section where I guess they would have me like order frames or whatever. But that was I was immediately met with a message machine. So I called back like not even a minute later. All right, and the next receptionist I talked to was like, "Yeah, we have an opening at 10:45 and 11:45 Wednesday morning. Like the morning I was asking for." And I'm like, I was literally just told there were no openings.
Imagine that.
So imagine like in my head, I'm thinking, so two people fucking called off their appointments in a span of 30 seconds. So no, receptionist bugged me because this isn't the first time this has happened. At like an actual doctor's office, I had the same thing happen. I called back and they were like, "Yeah, we have an opening this day," and I'm like, I was just literally told I wasn't going to have an opening for 2 weeks. So, whatever. um, and then I told you what happened at work, and I won't talk about that because I don't want to think about that.
I
Um,
heard it. You all are missing out. You're not. You're not missing
no,
out at all.
the public sucks. Let's just say that. But that's all I did this week. So, um, but you know, I say that's all I did this week, but that's a decent amount of stuff I did this week.
It's the big stuff. It counts.
Yeah. But if anybody was wondering, because I've been talking for like 30 minutes and or like less than 30 minutes, and Leek hasn't said a word. That's because Leek's not here because she has an appointment today somewhere else,
She
and
does. Send her your well wishes.
we
She
will be
deserves it. She's the best.
doing the show without her this week. But yeah. Uh, that also being said, Little didn't send us anything this week, so
Hey, dodged a bullet. Nice.
dodged a bullet. Yeah. Though I didn't remind him, so he might have been busy. So we'll let him have off this. But we do have some news. Very short list of news. Because everybody's still reeling from the summer gaming of hell news week. But we're gonna start it off with some bad news.
Yeah.
Activision Blizzard, their board voted to keep Bobby Kotick on the board for the next year. It is uh it's unknown if he will stay as CEO, but he is still on the he's still a board member. So
The world keeps turning and nothing changes.
so it's still continue fuck Activision Blizzard for the next year. And probably for years on after that.
Like, I get it. Honestly, I do. Activision Blizzard, for all its bitching and moaning, has made profit year over year. So I'm sure the board sees no reason to get rid of him and risk losing that. Except if you got rid of him, you would immediately see an uptick in people interested in it because you've made a good decision.
Yeah. Blizzard doesn't make good decisions though.
Like
So
you can 2 years of this shit. 2 years of Activision Blizzard being under the legal microscope as Kotick sits at the head of the company. And you reward that? Really? You don't think that you'd maybe continue to be highly profitable because of the product that comes out, regardless of where Kotick sits? Really? Really?
yeah. Uh
All right.
you would immediately see people be like, "Oh my god, Blizzard finally made a good decision. Maybe they are trying, but no. All we see is they're not trying. All they're doing is testing everybody's patience."
Seriously.
So but Naoki Yoshida, producer of Final Fantasy 16, did have a slew of interviews this past month. I'm not going to go in depth on all these interviews because 12 billion other people have already done it.
And he's
But
been very busy. There'd be so much to cover.
yeah, but there are a few things that he mentioned. One being he talked about a lot of the battle system, especially stuff dealing with summons. He even stated that some summons were gonna be like a first person or third person shooter. One's gonna be like a wrestling match. Another's gonna be like a battlefield. I'm assuming not the actual game battlefield, but like a battlefield.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's that he we when we get another trailer, that trailer is gonna be mainly about that. Um, he revealed that the game is not open world. He said it's going to be more like it's going to be like more open segmented world and not like so you know how
I guess the term is wide linear, right?
yeah, it's going to be like wide linear. So he stated that he wants the world to feel very large, but but the storytelling's going to segment it. All right. So, imagine Xenoblade Chronicles 2. There's wide open fields, but most of that the storyline of that game is segmented between the Titans. You only have so much of like each Titan that you're able to walk through, and then
Sure,
only towards the end of the game can you jump back and forth between each Titan. It's probably gonna feel something like that because we've seen the map of, or we've seen like a bit of the map of this world that 16 plays in. It's a gigantic like world. There's a bunch of different like country that our characters are going to be, or our character is going to be traveling in, because each world has its own each like country or each mainly like countries or whatever has their own dominant. All right. And obviously, we're going to be fighting some of these dominants, and some of these dominants are probably going to be AI party members, which he did confirm we will have AI party members, but
I
we
think
will,
that is probably actually the biggest thing he said thus far, because that
yeah,
was the thing that people were most uh, concerned about. Like Final Fantasy is known for having parties,
hmm
and this one's not going to be the same, obviously, but you will have a party.
yeah,
It's
there
kind of
will,
going to be like 15 at launch, right?
yeah, it's going to be a
Yeah.
little bit like 15 at launch, where you'll only be playing as Clive, and you will have a wide array of AI party members that will join your party, which makes sense in this because if this game's gonna play anywhere near like DMC5, um, DMC5 pretty much worked in the same way, where you played as one character
Sure.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you played as either fucking Dante Virgil or well, Dante
V.
V and
Nero,
Nero.
not Virgil.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. But you're uh you primarily only play as one person per playthrough.
Sure,
Um,
sure.
I mean, even though it's segmented into different stories. Um, so it's going to be like that. Um, which is interesting. I like. Well, I mean, we just talked about Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I like the way Xenoblade Chronicles 2 divvies up its land masses. Um, it's honestly it does feel linear in some aspect, but it's also like I mean, when you're on the Orion Titan, all right, that place is fucking massive. All right, there's so many levels to that Titan, but you're still segmented into that one area.
Sure, sure.
it's not open. So 16 will be a little bit like that. And they revealed that they do want to do a demo. Um, obviously, because Yoshi P wants people to have their hands on this to see how it actually feels like.
Thank
And
you. Thank you. I need
we'll
this.
yeah, we'll see something about that maybe towards the beginning of next year. So yeah, I do want a demo of this game. I do know he specifically said he does want media to get their hands on it. So because I assume once media gets their hands on it, they'll be able to be like, okay, this game is fucking
Listen
amazing.
to all that confidence.
Yeah,
Hell yes, we want media to get their hands on it right now, if not sooner.
yeah. So that's pretty good. I the more Yoshi P interviews I see, the better. Because that means the more 16 news is out there. Um, he's not the only producer and director doing interviews this week. There's an interview with Hidetaka Miyazaki, the director of the
Sure
Soulsborne
was.
series. He had just a few things to say. Um, there is an unannounced project that's in the final stages of development. 100% Bloodborne 2. He didn't say that, but it's 100% not Bloodborne 2. It's 100% Bloodborne remake. All right.
Well, there's
Everybody
actually
wants that game.
I mean, that is certainly true. I think that would make the most people happy. But let's think of what he has in the fire right now. So there's any DLC for Elden Ring.
hmm
There is bloody what is the mech? What's the mech game called?
Armor Core.
Armored Core. There's Armored Core, which they've talked about. So that's
hmm
those two off the table. Um, they don't do remakes, which is interesting. That's that's typically they typically let other teams do their
Well,
remakes and touch ups.
he might not be running the remake particularly, but
Sure.
he might be. Obviously, he's going to be hands on to any changes that happen in it. Or like he obviously like if Blue Point's doing a fucking remake of it, they have to run stuff by him. It is his game.
That's true. That is because it's his title.
So, um,
I would
but
love it to be Bloodborne, like,
yeah,
properly done.
fucking A, man. One day. But if it's in the final stages of development, that means it's probably going to be pretty announced pretty soon.
Yep,
So,
and we won't have to wait very long to hear about it, I imagine.
oh yeah, 100%. And then Miyazaki stated that he intends to continue focus on directing games, and is already working on his next game, 100% Armored Core. I think a lot of people from like a bunch of people from FromSoft and Bandai Namco have already stated that they've been waiting on the time to work on a new Armored Core game, and I think there has been dealings or like rumors within circles that have been spreading out like leaks or whatever, that they've already seen like some of the stuff from a new Armored Core game. So that's probably the next game in the works. And then yeah, Elden Ring is going to be receiving some updates, and we know that there's probably going to be a DLC for that because
I
why
genuinely wonder
wouldn't
how they're
there
going
be?
to. Yeah, well, I mean, yes. Like, there's a lot there that they need to clean up anyway. So I fully expected,
Yeah,
I fully expect rather to see DLC coming sooner rather than later. I played 3 Armored Core games.
yep.
Um, and 2 of them were fine, one of them was absolute garbage. Um, but I wonder because it's not the same team there anymore. Like this, if they make an Armored Core, this will be essentially a brand new experience entirely. So I wonder if they're gonna like because they I can't imagine they're gonna go to the older style because most of that was on PSP anyway.
Now
So
it's gonna be
that
Armored Souls.
yeah,
Imagine an
yeah.
Armored Core video game, but a Souls like.
I'm struggling. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Start killing
I will
stuff, and
say,
you get energy. Just get energy for your mech suit.
swear to
But
God, if
yeah.
I ever see a mech chug anything, I will die.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, I look forward to seeing what they put out. Like From's been pretty solid since forever. So like I've been messing with them since Tenshu at the very least.
Yeah, and I enjoyed the hell out of Elden Ring, and I've beaten Dark Souls 1 and 3, so
Yeah, looking forward to see what comes next.
yeah. Next was a nice little like tidbit that Kojima just like fucking blurted out of nowhere. He apparently was working on a dark superhero project, but he canned it because it was too similar to The Boys.
Yeah, you know what? I absolutely believe that.
Yeah, I do believe it 100%.
Like that, I can with Metal Gear, just Metal Gear, let alone the weirdos that pop up in Death Stranding. Yeah, I can. I even understand what it was going to sound like. I can see it and hear it
hmm
now.
Uh, his loss though, because that would have made a bunch of money.
Goodness, yes.
Uh,
Being able to say, yeah, it's like The Boys, but a video game, that would sell so much, especially
dude,
right now.
they made a really good The Boys video game or whatever. I fucking play, dude. Being able to fucking walk around as Billy Butcher, fucking
That would actually be really cool.
beating up people, saying fucking diabolical. Man, it's so good. Oh, The Boys is too good. But that was a nice little fucking thing that Hideo Kojima just blurted out there. So it's nice. Nintendo announced today that they'll be doing a mini direct that will be focusing on third-party titles, and it'll be shown tomorrow on the 28th, or technically today for me because it's already the 20th. And it'll be roughly 25 minutes, and we will
And
definitely talk about it.
oh boy, if all of Twitter isn't just saying Bayonetta 3, Bayonetta 3, Bayonetta 3. It's all I've seen. I've not seen
Yeah.
anyone hoping for anything else. I've never seen such solidarity about a possible direct.
Well, I mean, we haven't
Well,
really
not
seen too much about
Smash.
Bayonetta 3 anyway.
Oh yeah, there was the announcement. Then 5 years later, there was the announcement again, and
Yeah,
now
and
we are
then
looking for actual information.
yeah. That and couple of people were talking about Tactics Reborn. That'll be coming out sometime since that was announced.
Mm-hmm.
The remake of Tactics Ogre. And that'll definitely be a fucking Switch title.
I mean, it's practically for it.
Yeah, it's fucking made for it. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested. I mean, again, this is the Switch I'm talking about here. The only game I'm ever looking forward to that's going to be a Switch title is a fucking Xenoblade game, and I'm getting one in 30 days. So, or 33 days, something like that. So, it'll be interesting to see what they show here. Like Bayonetta 3. If Bayonetta 3 doesn't actually get shown at this direct,
I will actually be stunned.
I feel bad for everybody wanting Bayonetta 3 because I'm honest, I'm here with you because I too am waiting on a game that is never talked about called Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
I'm sorry,
And
what's that? Have we ever seen that?
yeah. I've seen a good bit of it, but I've also not seen a good bit of it because it keeps getting fucking delayed. Also, Little messaged me yesterday. Apparently on the 29th, which is literally the day before the last day of fucking June.
Yep.
Square is showing off a thing for Star Ocean 6.
Oh,
So,
I didn't know this.
yeah, I didn't know it either.
So
But
you too can see Whitesnake and his motley crew of do-gooders take over the
yeah,
universe.
can't wait. The perpetual state of a fucking Star Ocean fan. Will this game be good? Because historically, almost none of the Star Ocean games are actually good. um, Star Ocean 3 is like the closest one to being a very good video game.
That's
All
still
the
the end
other
of time,
ones,
right?
yeah, all the other
Yeah, that's the
ones
one that I
are
played.
slightly mediocre.
Apparently
um,
five's a trash fire.
and what?
I said apparently five is a trash fire.
There's a Star Ocean 5.
Okay, well, my mistake.
But yes, that one is definitely a trash fire. So yeah, it'll be it. I'm really hoping for more Star Ocean news. Well, I know I'm getting some, but I'm really hoping that it's like, bam, here's the game, here's gameplay, here's release date. That's all I need. But we move on to our last piece, which is the greatest thing that happened this week: the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Direct.
Ta-da! It was good.
They showed a lot in this
I mean,
fucking Direct.
I know the game comes out in literally a month, but they showed off so much. Just so much. Oh man, it was like a feast.
Yeah. They had a nice, like, 3 to 4 minute trailer for the story. I have no fucking idea what's going on in it other than our characters have 10 years to live, and most of them have lived most of their 10 years outside, with not the exception of Mio, who has 3 months left to live. There are, uh, this game's gonna be long.
It does seem to be absolutely massive.
They go through and they talk about each of the main characters. This game is pretty much Final Fantasy X, where both Noah and Mio are fucking are just summoners and they're sending people. So that's nice. Uh, they showed the combat. Combat looks ridiculous. Just the customization of everything in the combat is it takes Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and is like, okay, so what if you had Rex's whole like kit, all right?
Mhm.
And then you you get to be you get to be everybody else's kit within Rex while being able to swap to everybody else in the battle, while being able to fuse with your partner, while fusing your arts, while doing 12 different other things. Like, I mean, there's there's so much depth within this combat that they showed that Enel's sitting there like the fucking the Xenoblade speedrunner that I listen to every now and then. He's like,
Mhm.
this might be the greatest video game ever.
Yeah, that's high praise coming from anyone, isn't it?
I'm just like, oh man, the voices sound so good in this game. They sound so good. I don't think I've heard a character in this game yet that doesn't sound that sounds bad. Even the bad guys with their like the whole distortion shit, they even sound really good.
They're using the same casting department as 14 uses.
Yep.
So I suspect that on a voiceover front, it's going to be, what's the word? Amazing.
Yeah. That would be.
So, yeah. We might even end up knowing a bunch of them. So, because I think
Yeah.
we already know a handful of people from 1 and 2 are already prominent in 14. So they
Well,
have it.
I know at least in Xenoblade 1, the person that plays Shulk is Pippin in 14. The voice actress for Fiora is Tataru in 14. The voice actor for Zord is Oriange. Um, the voice actor for Alvis is Amaric, and I think there's another one. Um, one of the characters. Oh yeah, yeah. The voice actor for Egil is Thancred. So
Oh, they have
yeah,
it.
yeah. there's there's a lot of overlap with Xenoblade 1 and 14. I'm not 100% sure about Xenoblade 2. The guy that played Rex was relatively new, and he hasn't done much other things. That being said, I know the person that played Nia and Mithra Pyra, they are known for a lot of other things. Um, but I don't know about the rest of the cast itself. I they don't sound familiar to be in other roles, but I'd have to look it up.
That's fair.
That being said, I would never have guessed one that both Pyra and Mithra were voiced by the same person, and two,
2,
uh,
she's
that
not American.
that Mithra was not American. Be,
She's a
or yeah,
southerner.
both of them, yeah, both of them, yeah, they both I mean, obviously both Pyra and Mithra they're voiced by the same person, but it's also not American, and it's just so weird because their voice is they do a very good American accent.
Actually, now that I think about it, Scott Bennett's from, I think she's just from London proper.
Yeah, I think she is. Yeah.
So yeah. I also did not know that till I looked it up. It's like Scott Bennett. I know that name. Looked it up. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I just thought they got an American. Presumably, everyone in the cast is from the UK, despite all the blades clearly being American. But
um,
that's right because like they were split up even further. Who were the Australians, New Zealanders? I forget what it was.
I'm not 100% sure.
Whatever.
Uh,
They've done a great job of regionalizing the characters into. It's I imagine it won't carry over to 3 because everything seems so mushed, but we'll see.
Morag's done 3 voice acting roles.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not as many as I would have expected.
Or well, 3
She's
video
probably
game 3 video
she's
game
probably an
roles.
actual actress, come to think of it.
Yeah, no, she's an actual actress. Um,
Yeah, that's pretty popular. I mean, it's been pretty popular, especially in the last few years, for actors and actresses. When they get tapped to do something, they'll think about it, and if it's square or if it's something big enough, and I guess Xenoblade Chronicles was big enough, they'll say yeah.
yeah. So, uh, in 2010, she did the 2010 GoldenEye voice. Natalia Simonova did voice and likeness in that. El Shaddai Ascension of the Metatron did Gabriel, and then in 2017, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was Morag. That's the only video games that she's done. Uh, yeah, I mean, a lot of the people in Xenoblade 2, I think were actors and actresses.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see who they get for Xenoblade 3. All I know is that from what I've heard, they all sound really good. So, music sounded great from what they shown in the Xenoblade 3 Direct. I can't. Oh yeah, fucking. So you have your base combat, which gives you your arts. All right. Then you have classes, and every one of your characters can be whatever class that they want to be. All right. I'm assuming it. You have to like up your affinity to like unlock some of these classes with each character. Because that's kind of just how they do stuff in that game. Then you get hero characters. All right. Now
Yes.
these are a 7th member of your party that you can just swap in and out at any point in time once you unlock them. All right. And there's at least confirmed already to be there's at least 20 of them. All right. Not only can you swap them out, but you can also have anybody in your party be their class. All right. So you have depth on top of depth on top of depth. And fucking one of the heroes is like pretty much Xenoblade version of Kasara. All right. Hot as fuck. And she's pretty much the waifu of the series. Or waifu of this game. 100%. It's Alexandria, man.
It was a good look.
Yeah. And
It was compelling.
and you can customize and you can change anybody's appearance to look like any class. So you don't have to be the class. You can just change them to look like that class. I don't know what I like. I praise Nintendo for just allowing monolith. No. This is the only thing I praise Nintendo for. This is the only thing I praise Nintendo for allowing Monolith Soft to do whatever the fuck they want. All right.
We talked about it the other night. Like this is
Yeah.
actually one of the stronger things that Nintendo does. After getting run around by other companies, eventually Monolith Soft ended there. It's the exact same story that happened to Platinum.
Yeah. This is the only thing I ever praise Nintendo for. I applaud them for allowing Monolith Soft to do whatever they want, because obviously Monolith Soft makes like these cool looking fucking video games, right? I just feel extremely bad for Monolith Soft because they are so hampered. They are so fucking
They are. It's true. By the architecture.
handicapped by the architecture of what they are allowed to fucking develop for. All right.
Seriously, imagine PS5. Fuck, imagine PC.
Just imagine PC. I don't care. It doesn't have to be on PS5, all right?
Imagine PCs.
Nintendo, you know how much money you would make from allowing Monolith's off to develop this for PC as well. All right, you'd make so much because there are a lot of people out here that don't buy Switches. A lot of people out here that just don't buy video games for the Switch because most video games for the Switch run terribly. All right. Nintendo could make so much fucking money doing this. But they don't. And I hate Nintendo for it. I hate Nintendo for a lot of other things. But that especially. Outside of that, I don't think they showed off. Oh, so they do have a season pass for it. There is a content pass or whatever. $30, I think, or $29.99. Comes with an update in August, I think, for a I think it's a new challenge, like a new class or whatever. And a new character. I think there is an update in either winter or early 2023 with another new challenge against a character that you can get as your hero, as a hero character and their class. And then there is going to be a story content update sometime next year. So yeah,
It's quite the roadmap. I'm still a little old fashioned. Whenever there's a talk about DLC before the game's out, I do wince just a little, but at least it's rock solid with what we can expect. So fair
yeah.
enough.
And Xenoblade's done
And
this
it
multiple
seems
times,
pretty
so.
enjoyable for.
Yeah. You have to think about, so the only time Monolith has done this to where the content was actually cut from the game was with the 2. Because Torna was actually supposed to be part of the game.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But Nintendo wanted them to get the game out as fast as they could. And so they had to just cut that Torna part out. And then after the
Hot take.
Not
Torna could have been a standalone different
Torna could
game.
be
I still would have paid for it.
Yeah. Fucking after the feedback that they got for Xenoblade 2, the director went back in and was like, okay, this needs to change within Torna, and so they changed a lot of they went from Torna being pretty much being a part of Xenoblade 2 or whatever, and then just being a completely separate thing just as a prequel. Because a lot of stuff in Torna changed, like the battle system is completely different. So So yeah, the image that they had for the story DLC was it was 3 blades. One being Rex's blade, one being the Monado, and I think another one being Noah's blade. All centered, it's all stuck in the ground together on the top of the hill. So, wonder what that means. Who knows? Big question mark. But that is all for this week.
Hey,
I could talk about Xenoblade through an entire show, which
and don't worry, we will.
We will. But more on that later. Yeah. That's actually all the news that we have this week. It's a very, very slow week. Next week we'll definitely recovering. Next week we will definitely be talking about the direct that happens today and Sunbreak.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's go on and just get this out of the way. That is still what I will be playing. Let's not even pretend like there's going to be anything else. Maybe there will be. It's not planned.
Yeah, it's not planned, but the plan is to play Sunbreak tomorrow night, actually. Yes. Tomorrow night.
I believe it's either tomorrow night or Wednesday morning.
Yeah, it depends because we're going to be playing on Steam, and Steam is really iffy on when they update their games.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be a midnight one or if this is going to be one of those that's like 9 a.m. my time or whatever.
Yeah, who knows? Either way, I'll be at work. I won't be at work Tuesday night, but I'll be at work
the following morning.
The following morning. Yeah. yeah, so I'll be playing some a good bit of Sunbreak, and I'll also be bouncing often on playing Terraforming No Man's Sky,
Hey,
and then I'm gonna force Dalit to watch Ruby, so because that's what I do.
less A, but I did it
No,
once already. I can do it again.
yeah, I mean, hey, the Shaft anime, pretty good.
I
There's
genuinely
some rough
cannot wait for
cuts,
them. I
rough
genuinely
cuts.
just cannot wait for them to get to the part that they're interested in writing.
Yeah, I know. I just can't wait, like, cause when it comes to I feel like how I did when first watching Ruby in the beginning. All right, I'm like, okay, show me those fight scenes because it's Monty Oum. All right, Monty Oum's got fucking amazing fight scenes. He's so cool. All right,
God, I was
now,
watching. I rewatched Dead Fantasy 1 today because I saw that someone
yeah,
remade it. Um,
not the same.
I'm still of the opinion that I prefer Monty's work to the new Fluid work.
Yeah.
Monty's work had a weird purpose to all of the movements. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
always sensible and it wasn't always like practical,
There's a rule
but
cool to it.
it all served for the rule of cool. And frankly, that's all I ever expected of Ruby.
Yeah.
So I do miss like the early stuff.
But I'm in that same mindset for Shaft Ruby because I know Shaft Ruby fight scenes are gonna be fucking gorgeous.
And so far, that is where they very, very wisely put the current budget.
Yeah.
So
And then Blu-ray budget, they'll be like, okay, we can actually animate the backgrounds now.
it's just, it's true. It's what they do, and it's very obvious.
Yep. I love Shaft for it though. Um, they normally don't put their hands on too much bad anime. They did do Mikaku City Actors, which is still iffy on whether it's good or not.
Is that the Vocaloid anime?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the Kaguru Project anime. So
I
yeah, which is
I unfortunately do not know what that means.
uh, I have stated many of times it is actually one of the stories that I actually really like. But the anime doesn't really do it justice. So if anybody wants to get into Kagepro, read the manga. Or listen to the music on that's all over fucking YouTube. Because that is a better way of telling the story than that anime was. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing this week. And if you made it this far, which actually isn't very long, it's just over an hour, then give us a like, favorite, and subscribe, and fucking tell us that we're shit in the comments. I know somebody commented on one of our Final Fantasy 16 thing, and they said good luck on your channel. So
Hey, thank you, person.
Thank you, Chicken C. I think it's Chicken C1. Thank you. But we will see you guys next week.
Take care now. Bye-bye. Before you go, remember to like, comment, and sub to us. Not only does it help out the channel and let us know what you're into, but it also makes you 100% cooler than everybody else. I checked with Aqua. It's definitely